Welcome back to my home for another sit, chat, and craft, and I'm not quite sure what episode it is of using envelopes, mailer envelopes. So today what we're going to do is make these beautiful little books. I'm quite taken by them. So this is made out of a 6x6 piece of card paper, and it has two, let me see if I can get a little tag here. It has two tucks on either end, and then just tea-dyed paper in the middle, so very easy to make. When you're binding it, you use your binding thread to make the tie, and this can just get either stuck in a pocket, like it's small enough that it would go in a pocket in a journal, could be given as a piece of Happy Mail, or just included in a journal. So this one has a fussy cut flower from a botanical flower book that I have. Let me just get that down there while I see that that's up. If I don't do it when I see it, then I forget about them, and I hate them when you get stuff and it's not glued down properly. And then the second one is a bit bigger, as you can see, because I don't measure them. You make them whatever size you want. And for this one, I have covered it in old book pages from a vintage children's book using the pictures on it, and on the front in the Magic Garden, and the back is plain for journaling. I love this with the fairies on it. And they have 16 pages, so that's, and they're tied in the middle. So these are quite fast and easy to make. And again, I'm claiming no original idea here. I am inspired by all of you and the wonderful work that you do on any given day. And so let's sit down and make these little booklets. So the first thing I do is make sure there's no addresses on them. Is the very first thing that I do is I cut them open. So let me just use my cutter, it's faster. And again, for those of you that love the windows, I'm not going to use them today, but you could definitely try to use them. That one's open. I'm just going to cut it again to make it straight. Get rid of that for now. Sorry for the squeaking. Alright, set that off to the side. And then once it's opened, then what you do is you decide how large you want it this way. So if I pull out my other two, I don't want it larger than this one because I want it to go in a journal. And these also are, these journals here, for putting the pages on the inside, if you fold a 8x11 piece of tea-dyed paper in half, you get two separate pages when you cut them off. So I'm going to just take that a bit more. Up, fold it. I was thinking that these would be, and why I made more than one, these would be nice to have on hand to be able to send when, you know, there's prayer requests, or when you have a thank you to send to someone. Having these ready to go would be nice. Just make sure it's nice and creased. So we'll do one in here to see how long it takes us. So then what I did is, and I fold it over again because I want to make sure that that fold where the line where you're going to stick your tags in is big enough. Pardon me, strong enough that it will take paper going in and out of it without ripping. So again, these would hold gift cards for Christmas, so a fast nice Christmas present would be to include one of these. I'm just going to glue down what the envelope wasn't open. And for those of you that like this this green or blue paper that's on the inside here, you could leave that very easily, and you could make that your front. No, I guess you couldn't. Anyway, I'm just going to continue with what I've got. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this old book page. Again, this is a Catholic, so it won't, I don't have to worry about what's on it. It will be fine. The thing we do is we have the paper, and this is, as I said before, this is from a old Catholic prayer book, and I'm just going to tear the paper, get rid of that white edge. Might use that on something else. And go ahead and glue it in. Now, like all of my work, we're going to put a piece of fabric down the center to make sure that it's strong enough. So with this, I only need my paper to go to there, so I can take that much out. Why waste pretty paper? Okay, so we're going to glue that down, and because I'm going over this piece of cellophane, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. So I hope everyone is well and being able to celebrate whatever holiday season you celebrate at this time of year with family and friends. We celebrate on Christmas Eve. We are Christians, so we do Christmas Eve here. And we, I don't need to worry about this because I'm going to have fabric go down the center. And then Christmas Day, typically we don't do anything. But this year my brother and sister-in-law are going to come over on Christmas Day at some point, and we're going to order Chinese food. Maybe a new tradition started. Their children also celebrate on their own on Christmas Day, so that little munchkins get to play with gifts, and other sides of the family get what they want. So that is nice. And as always, we're going to sew, so we're going to leave things till the last to sew. Let me see if I can get another. I'm looking for a full page of text. So here's a full page of text on both sides, so that's nice. I find working with paper and tearing it so satisfying. Someone should do a research paper on why some of us find it so satisfying to work with paper. We do. Now again, like last week's, you could do this in a mass make and have them sitting ready to go. If you had, like I do, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, nieces and nephews that you do Happy Mail with, you could purchase some small coloring books and send them to them as waiting in the car kind of activities. Again, because we're going to put cloth down it, it doesn't really disturb me too much that it's got down the center. Doesn't disturb me, the middle doesn't bother me, but this will bother me. Down the side, that over there. Alright, so that's the inside. And this is the outside. So I think what I did with the last one. So I'm going to show you. If this had been the front, you could have put a picture behind it and it would be very nice. Maybe I'll do that with another one. But this is my front, and I'm going to, because I'm going to try sitting down. First off, let's see how this new mic goes if I try to sit down. Well, it came unclipped and swung in front of you, so let me see if I can keep it up here again and have it work the way we want it to. So I like the interest. So this is fairly boring on the inside here, and we'll add things to it. But I kind of like when we add some interest to the front. So let's see what we've got here. Grab my bag of papers. Just pull out a couple of handfuls. I like when you're able to do this, just pull stuff out randomly like this. So the front, well, that would work. Grab a glue stick. Oh, not that. Won't work now. Or maybe it will. Hang on. Let's see what happens here. Again, I don't want to waste this coffee dyed paper, and for some reason I decided it would be good to experiment on it. So I'm going to add that down there. Try and get that all in there. Yep, no, that works. All right. Yeah, that works fine. I'm kind of excited for Christmas this year. My granddaughters are giving me art. Their own art, which I think is a lovely thing to do. And now I want a long skinny piece, and not to throw my glue all over the place, so let's pull out our garbage bin again and see what we have in here that's long and skinny, because this would be the place for it. Add some different paper there. And yes, about once a month I take that garbage and I throw it out, and all of the wonderful little bits that are in it are gone forever. So what I'd like to do, so on the back I'm going to add writing paper like I did in the front. So let's just glue those on there. I need to find a good wooden desk. What I'm working on is one of those foldable desks, and of course it's got this edge in it. All right. So now the next thing we're going to do, now this piece here will bother me because that is going to show. Because the fabric only goes down the middle part. My glue there. So now I'm going to get some more of this dyed fabric, and I'm going to take it all the way to the bottom because I want it to hold. I'm going to sew through it. Now I need to decide whether I'm going to put lace on the outside of it just to keep it nice. So we need to mark the fold, so the fold right along that green. And just a reminder that when I hit 200, and I can't believe that that I'm as close as I am, I really can't. I'm going to send out a completed, I'm going to do a draw. I'll have to figure out how to do that. And I'm going to send out a completed package of the envelopes that we've been making. So I will stitch on either side of that. Turn that, that's good. Good. All right, so there's this. Now we're going to do some decorating. So I have my fussy cut flowers, put them up there, and I have my box of digitals that I've taken from Took's craft table, and I will use some of the images in it, I think. So let's just see what we've got here. Oh, I like that one. This is from her calligraphy pages. And I'm using the digitals. I've printed them, so I need to use them, I think. I should use them. They don't do anyone any good sitting in a box. So there is that. Now I'd like some nice writing. So we are now, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we don't have to go see the neurosurgeon for 4 months for Paul, and we're down to every 3 weeks for physio. So I feel very blessed this Christmas. Very blessed. It needs something. Maybe a bird. Does it need a bird? This is a bird that I drew, and this is a fussy cut, so let me just put these where they go, and I can figure out which I want. So that's going like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to use that bird. Alright, so let's glue some things down so that they're where they want to be. So this piece of lace here, I'm going to fold over the edge and sew it down so it will be that far in. Let me look on here. Why don't I like it? I don't mind that, but I think I want well, now why don't I like that? Do I want? Yes, that's what I want. Alright, so just wanted something to make that flower jump out a bit more. I don't need a lot. Why waste paper? So let's take this and just put it on the side. And then add this to it. There we go. Get our pin in our glue. Or do I want it around the top as well? I think I do. So this Saturday, the women that I craft with, paper craft with normally before 2020, we will be meeting to have a Zoom, our Christmas Zoom craft together on Saturday. That will be fun. Paul is learning to play the piano. He is, and we found out he's not the oldest piano student that the teacher that we're doing has. So why when you saw me not use this big piece, because I think I'm going to add it under the lace just to bring that color over. So what I'm going to do is, so he's not the oldest piano, I keep changing on you, I'm sorry. He is not the oldest piano student that this piano teacher has. She says she has an older student who calls it her piano, what did she say? Piano therapy. And this woman is in her late 80s and just comes to have fun on the piano and keep exercising her brain. I think that's amazing. Utterly amazing. May we all enjoy learning new things right up until the point where we will learn all new things as we move from this existence to the next. So just a small piece is going to be over on the back side of this, and then the more major piece will come over on this side. Because it'll have lace over top of it. Alrighty. Cut that off. And now do I want to add the lace right away and add the bird over top of it, or see, it's going to come around that way, so it'll fold over there like that, which will be nice. Yes, I think I do. So my grandson and I used to sit with, when he was alive, he enjoyed working, why can't I think of the name, on his iPad and making pictures. And so we would sit and do these. Yes. It's going on top, so I'm going to take my glue here. As some of you know, I'm part of a slow stitch collab, Circle of Friends. Is going to be the hashtag, and I was so thrilled to hear that my package to Australia got there. The first one is in January, so that's good. So I was thrilled that it made it there, and that the lovely Purple Cottage got it, and she will do a video in January of it. So there we go. Now it still needs something. I will glue this down when I stitch it. Is it a tag? This is when I need you to be able to scream at me. This is what it needs, Marjorie. There, that's what it needs. This is a Tracy Fox tags. Some of her botanical tags. I got a number of comments last time about people who say they don't like, they don't use digitals. And you don't have to use digitals for these. You can use anything you want. I enjoy using digitals, so I do. It is all up to what you want to do. So now I am going to add, I want to designate the pockets as pockets. So I've got the front done. The back is done because I'm just going to leave it like that and sew that on it. So I want to do the pockets. I kind of like that. Alright, so if I'm going to put this in the middle, no, there's going to be paper inside it, so I don't want to do that. That's if it had just been two pockets without the... Nope. Nope, 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 nope. So maybe we won't use those. Maybe I will use some flowers. So, but the first thing I want to do is I do want to denote the top and bottom of the pockets. I want to make those so that it's quite clear what those are, because I'm not going to put the holes in it. So I'm going to do that. Alright. So I'm going to glue those down. I don't need much of an edge over, just a little bit of an edge, so I can do that, and then just snip that off there. Alright, so there's those two. All that. And now we're going to add some flowers. use those two. And I'm going to find some background paper here that I can rip up. Maybe not the blue. Oh, it's too busy. Alrighty then, what else can I use? Maybe all I want is a tag. Make sure I'm still going here. Oh my, it's getting too long. I think that's what I'm going to do for both sides. I'm going to stop it here, continue decorating, and then I'll come back when I sew in the signatures. So I'm back and I have sewn all the way around the edge, around the spine. I've sewn in the pockets. I haven't sewn down the middle, but that'll be held in by our pages. I added a little bit of interest at the top, and we have our two pockets with the, so these are fussy cut from a floral book that I have. The paper underneath is from Took. These are from Tracy Fox. And this is my tea-dyed paper. Again, this is a digital, this is a bird that I created. This is Took's craft table, and this is Tracy Fox, and this is Took's craft table there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the pages on the inside. Remember, we're going to have 16, which means we only need 4 pieces of writing page. And all I do is fold them in half. I make sure they're going to fit, and they will. And what I do over the winter by the fireplace is I get old notebooks that come into the Salvation Army, and I splatter tea on them and let them dry, and then I have whole notebooks that are covered in, whoops, let me use a ruler here, that have different tea, coffee stain marks on them, which is nice. And then I fold this in half. I don't want this rough edge, so I fold it in half to here. Have I mentioned how much I love tearing paper? Okay, so this is going to be too big, so I will take it to my cutter and cut down the edge of it. So what we will have is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and that just makes a nice, in my opinion, a piece flat enough that it can go in a journal as well. So I'm going to take that away, I'm going to cut it, and then what I'm going to do is use a 3-hole pamphlet stitch to sew it in, but I'll bring you along for that. So as you can see, the pages are cut, they're held in, I'm making sure it's upright, the pockets are where they should be. I poked 3 holes in, and the trick with making it so that you can use it as a tag is making sure that you have enough string to tie it around. So it's 1, 2, 3, and I do a generous 4. And to use your string as a tag, whoops, sorry about that, it's important that you bring, I just keep hitting everything, your string in from the back. So I'm going to come up, making sure I leave enough in the front to tie with, then I'm going to go down here, and I punched this with an awl, A-W-L, and then I'm going to go down here, all the way down to this one, and come up, making sure it's fairly tight. Then I go back down into this one, but I make sure I come up on the other side of that string. There are lots of great teachers out there that can teach you how to do this better than me. I'm just, as I said, and then what I do is I pull it away from itself, and then I do 2 knots here. Take off those, and then I should have enough to, well, I've got too much on one side and just enough on the other, but that's all right. You don't want a big tie there. Just enough to put a little string, and if you had bedangles, you can add them to the bottom. So this is today's craft with me. We have 3 of them that we've made. So this one is I made with 6x6 paper. This one is all made from recycled, an old book. And then this one I have used digitals that I've made, Took's Crafts Table and Tracy Fox. As you can see, they're just lovely. So these would make lovely gifts to put a gift card in here or a thank you note, and you could write little notes on here for someone or let them write what they want on it. So again, this is a lovely made with 1 envelope cut down the middle. Thank you very much, and you have a great day.